Every social media channel is now a video platform. Video is dominant and it's not going anywhere. If you're not doing video, then you are not growing your business like you could. On this episode of Midwest Mindset, we're going to give you the 3 keys to a marketing video that actually works. Hello and welcome back to Midwest Mindset, the podcast that makes marketing simple and easy to do for any business. I'm Matt Tompkins of Two Brothers Creative, where we believe that every business deserves affordable and effective marketing. You know, that's just what we believe. It's what we stand for.
It's our code.
It's our code.
Yes. Motto.
Yeah.
Creed.
Creed. Yes, it's our creed. Yes.
You were a big Creed fan.
Yeah, I love Creed.
Dude, Creed is great.
Creed is great. I don't know why people criticize Creed. I don't get it.
Yeah,
it's
either
fantastic.
do I. His voice is incredible.
Yeah, it's like Pearl Jam Part 2. Why are we judging? You know?
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yes, things got weird when he fell off a building in China or wherever he was, and then the whole religious thing kind of got mixed in there, and I don't know what's going on with that. I don't care.
People still say they're like a Christian rock band.
You know that one of the
no, he
left. He never was. That was like all speculation.
Yeah, his dad was like a pastor or something, and he rebelled against that by not doing the opposite of that. And then I think eventually he returned to his faith, but
the last time I saw him, he was like a mugshot, and he was like poor and basically homeless in Florida.
I got to meet Scott Stapp.
He's doing great now.
You did?
Yeah, I've met Scott Stapp. So when I was the voice of Stir Cove for 7-8 years. So I'd introduce all the bands on stage, right? Read announcements. So people hated me when I'd be like, hey, sorry, but there's a rain delay. I was that guy. And I'm standing there one day. And so a friend of mine, she loves Creed. So I got her tickets and we're standing backstage right next to the stage. She smokes. So she pulls out a cigarette. She doesn't have a lighter. And I'm like, well, shoot, I don't have a lighter either. And then all of a sudden this hand pops in. He's like, hey, here you go. Lighter. And then lights the cigarette. We turn around. It's Scott Stapp. And then we start talking to him. He's literally probably top 3 most nicest celebrities I've ever met. Bob Saget was one. He's the nicest. Bob Saget was just incredibly nice. And I would put Scott Stapp up there at number 2. Well, incredibly nice dude.
I went to the bar and had a beer with Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Scott Stapp still has a great voice. Still singing really well.
Dude.
Yeah, that album that came out that broke. That album's great.
Oh yeah.
They had the first
real quick though.
This is the Creed podcast.
Because I gotta mention
Welcome
this.
to Creed. Welcome to the Creed Fan Club podcast.
One of the best sketches, in my opinion, ever is Mad TV, the Creed sketch, and they changed the song to "My Shirt's Wide Open." And he's on a cliff, and the guy playing him, it's just his shirt's wide open, blowing in the wind.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
All right, so it's time to introduce everybody and then get into today's episode. Up first, we have Ben Tompkins. Ben looks like the kind of guy who owns a bowling jacket and bowling shoes. He wears them all the time, but never goes bowling.
I think bowling shoes are an underrated shoe. They are very comfortable, and I can just slide.
You can slide, yeah.
I just get a good momentum going, and I run down the hall and slide the rest of the way.
Slide saves you a lot of time when you're sliding because you don't have to walk. It's nice.
Exactly.
Yep. Bowling shoes are weird. That's weird that we share shoes. That's just kind of an odd thing. And then the bowling balls too. You're eating, fingers, stick it in a random 3 holes, and then keep eating. It's just kind of, what were we thinking?
And think about when you used to be able to smoke too.
Oh, yeah.
So then you're adding the cigarette smoke on top of it.
Yeah. Bowling alleys.
I think back to bowling, we did, because when we were on the radio show, we hosted a weekly bowling league. I look back at it and I'm like, how did I not die? That's just, all right. So up next we have.
That's where COVID started.
Up next, we have our producer extraordinaire, Myerden McHugh. Myerden, he looks like the kind of guy who hums Britney Spears songs annoyingly loud at work every day.
But then when you call him out on it, he's like, no, I wasn't.
Yeah, he denies it. He always denies it.
Yeah, he gaslights.
Oops, I did it again, Myerden.
That was oops, I did it again. And last but not least, we have Austin Anderson. Austin, he's the kind of guy, looks like the kind of guy who knows what type of wood it is simply by smelling it.
Yeah, you do.
I love that.
Yeah.
You definitely look like
I'm going to start pretending I have that power.
Just start smelling wood and telling people.
That's an oak.
Yeah.
People will believe anything you tell them. I've told people a lot of fables.
Just to see
but when you call them fables, it's not as bad as if you're say they're lying.
No, I'm not lying. It's a fable.
It's a fable.
Fable sounds pleasant.
It does.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for lying to me. All right. So today we're talking about the 3 keys to a marketing video that works. Now, guys, marketing on social media, every social media platform, as I mentioned in the intro, is a video platform now. I want your take on how you see video just It's everywhere. I mean, you talk about reels on Facebook and Instagram, reels or, vertical shorts on TikTok, which is just a dominant video channel. You have YouTube with, the regular videos and the YouTube shorts, just blown up in the last 3-4 years. COVID especially was like a accelerant added to this because everybody needed video because you couldn't meet in person and do all that. We do half our meetings by video now, on Zoom, probably most of our meetings. So video on social media though, with marketing in particular, what are you guys seeing as like the fails and the successes?
I think, it's a personal connection. You have this way that it's almost like you're talking directly to the customer, or the customer is talking directly to the business or whatever. So it's an opportunity to build that unique personal connection, probably more so than any other form. But I would say the oversaturation and just not going into it with a good strategy. It's so easy to say, well, it's just a simple video. I'll pull out my phone and and record something. And if you have bad lighting, bad angles, bad messaging, it needs just as much practice and rehearsal as other things.
And we're going to get into that today.
A lot of businesses don't put that time into it.
I don't think that people, everyone's making videos, right? So it's oversaturated. But a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into making really good videos with the lighting, with the camera, with the editing. I think a lot of people don't have an understanding of how long it really takes to edit something that's really good if you want something long.
It's the time and intent and effort to make something good that's going to actually work, to do it right? To do it right, it takes work. So let's get into some of the things. Like the statistics on video are crazy. I don't have them pulled up in front of me right now, but it's like something like, 76% of consumers watch a video over reading. Like people only read for 26 seconds and then they start scrolling. And videos are, I think it's like 70 or 80% more likely to buy your product if you have a video. And if you don't have a video for your product, most people will just skip. It's like 70% will just skip the product entirely if you don't have a video for it.
I would say, that's 100% true, and video is definitely the dominant form here, but that doesn't mean to just nix the written word.
No, we're not saying that. You need it.
You need to know, your ideal customer is, they might prefer that reading aspect.
You need both.
More than video, but you do need both. I look at that, for me personally, Twitter is just a gold mine of entertainment and hilarity and all these things. And I much prefer reading those things than just watching a video personally, but that's me, who I am, and there are a lot of other people. So identifying who your customer is the first step in knowing like what types of videos, what should I do with the written word, that kind of thing.
Well, you have to have both. So the written word and video, both are scanned by Google. So search engine optimization, let's say you type in a search for like cupcakes and you're based out of here where we are, Omaha, Nebraska. So you need written content for cupcakes and you need video content for cupcakes. And, we've talked about how a podcast is like the most affordable and effective marketing tool. And that's because if you do a video podcast, you get a video, you get audio, which is also searched. It counts for your search engine results on Google. And you can pull it and do a transcript. So you've got a blog and you can create all these video shorts from it. That's what we do here for our clients at Two Brothers Creative. But you can get so much, like 10x value out of just one 20-minute podcast episode, so that's why it's super effective. But you do need both. You have to have the written, you have to have the video.
I just think that with you choose video over the written word if you really want to convey a certain tone, because a lot of times if you read it, people will put their own tone to it. So I think if it's really important with like how you want it to sound.
And I just think that today with AI and how AI is incorporating now into video production and with the written word, there's just such a tremendous opportunity. When you have a good writer, that good writer can just be so effective. And same with a good video editor. So you have like AI who's editing videos now. Well, that's going to be a very basic fundamental edit, opposed to if you have an actual video production guy or person, woman,
animal, magical beast,
who can actually put in the flair and the things that are going to attract and create that tone, then it's going to be so much more effective.
So like the template for us is like, okay, let's say you want to do something for content, right? Write it out, right? Write it out. Boom. You've got a script and you've got that you can turn into a blog, right? You can take that script. You can use AI as a tool. Say, hey, I want you to incorporate these keywords into what I've written. That way it has your voice, as your perspective, your unique everything, right? But it also is going to be factored in for SEO. Then you have that script, right? It's prepped. It's ready to go for SEO. It's a blog post. Take that, throw it in on your phone, teleprompter, script, and you do that as a video. And then the video, you take the script and you paste the script, you copy and paste it into the description on YouTube. You add all the keywords in your tags, and now you've got a video and you've got a blog post, right? You've got written content. Then you can take an AI platform and you can take that blog and say, I want you to chop this up into 7 Twitter posts, 1 LinkedIn post, 1 Facebook post, and boom, 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 it'll do it. Now, those are rough drafts. You don't actually use those.
Rough drafts, very important.
You have to go through them and edit them and add your perspective and make sure, because you don't want to use AI for the final version of anything.
They love the word delve.
Delve, yes.
My God.
The word. So you have to go through it and you have to edit it. But that is an efficient way for any business owner to get a bunch of content, right?
It's remarkable how everything weaves together. It really
and you can take that video and then you can use there's one a platform, it's called Opus, and you just upload the video and say, I want you to chop this into 10 video shorts, vertical format, so I can post them as Facebook Reels, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. Boom, boom, boom. It's going to edit it for you. It's going to add the animated titles, and it's going to rank the videos on how they would perform for SEO, for search engine optimization. So there are ways you can, how much time is that going to take you? An hour, maybe? And now you've got an entire week's worth of content. I mean, an hour or two for an entire marketing plan, content marketing plan for a week seems like a pretty good deal. So that's kind of just a format, a template that you can follow as a business owner. But let's get to the 3 keys to making a marketing video that actually works. First up would be the quality of the look. So videos now are your first impression. One of my pet peeves is how people don't take into consideration how they look on Zoom. They'll be from home and it's just a crappy background. I don't have, maybe we can post the photo.
Dude, what about when they change the background, but it doesn't work? So they're just going in and out of.
Yeah. And don't blur the background. Just set yourself up so it looks professional, and don't use any background filter, any of that stuff, because that doesn't look good. It never looked good. Unless you've got a green screen behind you that's lit properly so it can key it in and there's no fuzz and all that stuff. It's just not going to look good. Now, that's your first impression in every Zoom meeting. Right. So think of that. If you walked into an in-person meeting and it was just a shit show going on behind you, that's the impression they're going to have. So my office, and we could probably pull a picture for the video and throw it in here for this episode if you want to see it. But my office, I literally designed based on how it looks on Zoom, because that's where all my meetings take place, and it works. So I have a high quality background. I've invested time and effort and money into making this look professional and legit. So then when I'm going to a customer saying, hey, this is the quality of services we're going to provide, I'm also reflecting that quality in the video. The same premise is true for any video that you post on social media, right? So Ben mentioned I'm going to grab my phone and do a quick little video. Now, maybe behind the scenes stuff on TikTok works and performs, but overall, you want to look professional, right? You don't want to look too cold and too polished, right? You want it to look real and reflect you, but get a ring light. It's like $15.
Yeah. Shocking how inexpensive they are.
It is. And they're easy. I mean, in fact, I recommend getting 2 ring lights so you can do actual proper lighting. So it's called the triangle. So you have your key light in the front and you have your fill light over there. So you have 2 lights lighting both sides of your face evenly. And then you have a backlight that's going to light your hairline on the back. That's proper lighting. And then even if you did 3 ring lights, it's what, $30 now, $45,
Yeah.
So you need to light it well, pay attention to your background and what you're doing. Now, phones today, the sensors have passed DSLR cameras, like standard cameras. So if you have a new phone, you can use your phone. It's just, you need to set it up properly. So it looks good in the back, looks good in the front, you look good, reflect yourself, because this is the opinion. This is the first impression people are going to have from you, and it's going to stick forever. So if you want that first impression to be shitty, yeah, go out in the garage where you got freaking bunch of crap behind you and you're walking around moving your camera. If not, then maybe go for the professional look, right?
Or the upshot, the classic upshot, up the nostrils and everything. You're
my favorite is the selfie.
30 minutes.
People who don't know how to take a selfie and they hold it way up high and then they go, smile, and they're cut off here and they're at the bottom. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yes, and stop taking headshots in the car.
And the bathroom.
Can I just throw that out there? Everyone, for social media, their profile pic, there's so many people, it's just them doing a selfie in their car.
Oh.
And the bathroom. I've seen a lot of bathroom selfies.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
I don't want to see a selfie and there's a toilet in the back.
Yeah, I've never seen that. That's new for me.
Now that you know.
Okay, so first key for a marketing video that works is the quality of the look. How does it look? That first impression. Number 2 is quality of the content. What is in the video, right? What is in the video? Is it substance that people want? I preach this regularly with clients and everybody because it's true. you want to deliver something of true value, right? So let's say you're doing a podcast, and an episode of a podcast, deliver something of true value. Let's say you're doing a video for YouTube. Are you delivering something of true value? That's how you're going to build trust with your customer, because your customer is going to say, wow, they gave me something that's actually useful that I can actually apply to my life for free. So it's going to make them trust you. So then when they need to hire you for services, they're going to think of you. They're going to trust you, right? So the quality of the content. And I think this is a big one, Ben, that like people skip right over. They don't plan. They don't think. They just hit record and go.
Well, it's like so many things in entertainment, acting, comedy. You see it on TV and you think, I can do that. I tell funny stories with my friends, or I'm entertaining. My friends and I, we always have fun. And I'll just get the phone out and just do the same thing. And as soon as you hit record, that all goes away because you don't have the experience, the know-how. You didn't plan, didn't rehearse, didn't practice. But it takes just as much work as doing any other profession. Yeah. You have to have that experience and know-how before you do it, or you have to find somebody who can help you and coach you and give you that experience.
Yeah. And hiring a professional is what you need to do. And really you can hire people. It's affordable. It's not going to break the bank, but like you just think about this. This is an investment in your company. That is probably one of the most important things you're going to do. And if you go cheap or you try and do it yourself, I mean, we give you tips and resources in every episode of this podcast, but there is kind of a limit to what you can do, right? Limit on time, limit on experience, the limit on resources. So hiring somebody who's a professional, who's good at it, like, I don't know, just Two Brothers Creative, and just tossing that out there, but
hey, that's us.
No big deal.
I'm not biased at all, but find a marketing company or a production company that will help you with your budget, fit your budget, and help you do this. And then you can learn from them and maybe eventually start doing it yourself, right? So we've done that with a lot of clients. We say, hey, we'll do this for 6 months with you, get you all set up, but your foundation built. At that point, you can decide, I want to continue with you guys doing it, or I've learned enough and I want to do it myself, So, but the quality of the content matters. You have to put the work in on the front end. Like, what are you going to talk about? What are you going to do? What are you going to deliver of true value?
And I would say too that with video, I think audio is more important than the actual quality of the video.
I don't know. The statistics may disagree with that. So 85% of people watch videos on their phone with the sound off. So the animated titles you see, the captions, are more important than anything you do. If you don't have those, they're gonna swipe on you. Wow. But it's 85%. Yeah. So it's crazy.
That blows my mind.
Audio does matter. Like, people will forgive poor video quality sometimes. They won't forgive poor audio quality. If you're doing a podcast, don't just do it on your phone in your car, because I've heard those and they sound terrible. All right. Last key to a marketing video that works is the format. Hook, story, CTA. So what does that mean? Okay. So you have a video, let's say it's 15 seconds. Well, in the first 3 seconds, you have to grab their attention. You have to hook their attention, right? So grab them. A powerful statement, a question, something funny, something to grab their attention. And you have 3 seconds. That's the limit, because if you don't hook them, they're going to swipe. They're going to go to the next video. Then you deliver the story. That's the substance. That's the content, right? So it could be anything in the video. Here's a tip, here's a technique, here's a funny joke, whatever, but that's the story, right? So you have the hook, you grab their attention, you drop the story in, and then the last thing is a call to action, or a CTA. What is your call to action? What do you want people to do after they've watched this video? What is it? And it could be subtle. It could be kind of covert, where it's just, maybe it's your logo animation. You just want to brand your company. We do that a lot with clients, or I just want you to remember and recall my company, and that we gave you something of true value in this video. Or it could be, click on the link and do this, or go to my website, or buy my, new slippers that are made out of human hair. It could be anything. Could be anything. So hook, story, call to action, format. So those are the 3 keys to a marketing video that works. Guys, do you have any other bonus tips you want to share?
Just, I don't know, trust creative people. I know we
what?
Well, what I mean by that is, when we give a hard time sometimes that you can't all be creative, that sometimes we just rely too much on creativity, and that's not enough. But in this day and age, when you find a truly good writer, a truly good video editor, a truly good person who can help create that content, that person is more valuable in the long run than just about anything else. And the opposite of that, what companies are doing now, they're relying on the quick and easy fix of AI, and those things, where if you find somebody that can write a good script, that good script could pay dividends for years and years and years. If you find somebody that can edit good videos, those quality videos. So the relying on truly creative people, I know that's a broad term and category, but that, investing in that is a very, very good investment.
Yeah, I would say that, when you say truly creative people, it's the people that have made that certain thing their craft and have worked on it for years.
And
like their
passionate about
passion.
it.
Because what I've seen from experience is big corporations hiring just, some 20-year-old kid basically who's like, oh, I've seen a lot of movies, I want to be a video editor. And they can get him for like $14 an hour, but he really has no idea about like audio and lighting.
He's young, he's on
anything.
social media, so he must know how
So
to
many
do it.
businesses make that mistake, and it drives me crazy, where they hire somebody who's like 23 and they're like, oh, they're on TikTok, they're on social media, therefore they're a social media expert. No, they are not. I mean, we don't do this with anything else.
No.
We don't say, oh yeah, I see how they constructed that house, I'm gonna go build my own. Or it's like, oh hey, you've taken a poop on a toilet, why don't you come over and fix mine? Like, using the service doesn't mean you know how to create the service.
And I guess maybe an additional step to bring it back to video is trusting a person and finding a person who is a good video editor, a good writer. That's going to help you in the long run. I mean,
spend time on
waste. Don't spend, if you can't do it yourself, like we've talked about before, you can't do everything. If you've never written scripts before, if you've never edited before, it might not be the best idea for you to dive into it on your own.
Yeah, no, 100% agree with that. You have to put the time and the work in on the front end to make it work, to do it right. Right. Well, cool. Thanks for joining us here today on this episode of Midwest Mindset. As always, we have free resources for you, something of true value, as we were just talking about, in the show notes. Just click on the link and download it for free. Or you can find out more about us and Two Brothers Creative at thecontentbox.com. Toodaloo.